beverages this time of evening with the chill coming in here in the desert and in Ardennes. Not chilly at all as she cruises through the first set. And Dulko looks like she's left the court. Yeah.
No, she's
out there. Oh, she's out there. I'm sorry. Justine was asking the umpire. I didn't see where Gisela was, but there she is, ready to go. First set stats, Mary Jo.
Too many unforced errors from Dulko made the difference. She was trying to play a little bit outside her game, tried to hit some big forehand. She missed. It was one break of serve. Ardennes never faced a break point in that first set. Comfortable service game. You know, when you play against an Ardennes, your footwork has to be so good. Your timing, because you're getting the heavy topspin, you're getting the slice that bites through the court and stays down.
Does she have the best footwork in the women's game, you think, Mary Jo, and in Ardennes?
I think with Clijsters. Tough one to pick between those two. They have so many similarities.
I mean, I would think maybe Clijsters has more speed. She gets around better, but boy, Justine is so solid with those little steps. You know, those Agassi-like steps when you're there. She really sets up well. They both have been very successful. They've both been to #1. The big difference really is the Grand Slam titles. That's a big one, obviously. Justine with 4. Clijsters, you see, has more titles in her career, 30. Justine winning her 25th in Dubai. A few more wins for Clijsters. Very similar, except for that big slam title.
It is pretty amazing how parallel the careers have been. They even were out of the game at the same time last year and came back at the same time.
Is Clijsters, will she be playing next week in Miami?
Yes. Remember, she went over her ankle in the semis of the Australian Open against Mauresmo. They told her she was going to be out for about 8 weeks, but went back to Belgium, did her treatment, her therapy, and came back and played a tournament, got to the final. And it was a little sore again. That's why she's not here defending her title from last year.
Ooh, made a mess out of that overhead. An early break to Henin Ardennes in the second set.
Let's take a look at our Sony Ericsson shot of the day, and it comes from the first set on set point. Henin Ardennes playing aggressively, using her forehand to open up the court, and then finishing it off beautifully at the net. That's something she's working on. Didn't do it a lot, but picked her moment on set point to just come in and take control.
And she looked right over at her coach after that, Mary Jo, to say, see, I'm doing it, I'm trying.
And I think he looked at her like, okay, let's do it a little more. So let's see if in this second set she does venture forward. And I remember her serving and volleying a little bit more earlier in her career. She hasn't done it as much recently.
That I don't know if I'd recommend to her, because obviously with the big hitters off the return, all the big girls hit the ball so well, and with her reach, you know, it's one thing to come in off a big forehand and sort of close it off. To really be able to cover the net, serve and volley consistently.
I just think it'd be such a great mix-up tactic.
Yeah,
against the good returners. That way they don't know that, okay, well, I just have to get it back deep all the time. They'll say, okay, is she gonna, is she gonna serve volley? I might have to make a better return. Get them thinking a little more, the returner.
A lot of unforced errors from Dulko.
Double.
A lot of that has to do with the speed of Henin Ardennes. She just covers the court so well.
Well, and she knows that the only way to stay in there with an Ardennes. Dulko has to go for more shots. She's got to flatten out. She's got to take more risk.
And that was a pretty well struck return from Dulko, and Henin Ardennes just leaned into the backhand and really ripped it cross court. Handles pace from her opponent so well. Whoa. Comes in and gets herself a cheap point, so a love game for Henin Ardennes. 2-love second set. We always talk, Mary Jo, on the men's side about all the Argentines, and so many of them, but not many in the women. So only Dulko's the highest ranked of the Argentines, and there's only one other, Maria Diaz Oliva, who's in the top 100 even.
I know, it surprises me. There was one other one a year ago, Paula Suarez.
Right. Great doubles player.
Great doubles player. Was #1. Reached the top 10 in singles. She's been injured now for a while. Sid Sabatini.
Right.
You would have expected.
You'd think there'd be a few more coming up. Yeah.
And it didn't happen. Sabatini, by the way, getting inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame this year. Pat Rafter. We usually see her during the Miami tournament. She has the place down there. Took that one early, Dulko.
30.
Brother Alejandro trying to just reinforce, stay positive, hang in there. You're doing the right thing. Got to find a way to take time away from Henin Ardennes. You got to find a way not to let the spins play you. So the earlier you can make contact with the ball, the better.
She moved in very nicely there to cut that off.
You could sense her on the court, Dulko. She played that short ball. It wasn't even a drop shot, bringing Henin Ardennes forward, not on her own terms, and then the volley to the open court.
A good run here back in 2004 did Gisela Dulko. She was a qualifier that year. Took out Sanchez Lorenzo and #7 seed Nadia Petrova on her way to the quarters. Went down to Lindsay Davenport. Oh. Pace on that overhand. Dulko could not handle it. 40-30. She says she feels real comfortable out here. Likes the surface. Likes the conditions. Oh, a shot. What a point.
Talk about using the whole court. Both players. Look at this angle Dulko produces, and then from outside the doubles alley, Henna Arden just threads the needle and lets it rip.
That is a phenomenal shot on the run.
Look at the projection there. Enough topspin to clear the net, the highest part, and then just down the line.
40 love, back to deuce. Chance for a second break potentially for Henin Arden. Point like that's got to intimidate you, doesn't it, Mary Jo? When you play a great rally, beautiful cross-court forehand.
Not too many people even get to that shot, and then to be able to produce the winner is pretty amazing, and it just inspires Henna Arden and definitely deflates Dulko.
Break point. She's got it.
Took a chance. Got the ball at its peak and then just, again, she's known for hitting a lot of topspin, but when she goes for a winner, she flattens it out a bit. It's a little bit more pace on her forehand.
That was a good serve. She slid it out wide. Point. That's a great effort by Gisela to hang on there. Give herself a chance in this second set, but the #1 seed still in control, a set and a break. Welcome back to this women's quarterfinal matchup. And Arden serving a 2-1 second set. She won the first 6-3. Gisela Dulko, 21-year-old from Argentina. Solid player the last couple of years, right around the top 30. She's having to play a little out of her element to really threaten Henna Arden on a consistent basis tonight.
You know, it's interesting, and Arden is not serving at a very high percentage, but she's winning such a high percentage of second serves. Only at 39% of first serve, and she's winning 74% of her second serves.
So basically, she's having no trouble on serve. Very solid. And she backs it up. See, I just love that play from Henin Arden. As soon as she sees something that she can attack, she moves quickly, she gets set up perfectly.
Carlos has been working with Henna Arden for almost 10 years now. She was a junior.
That relationship is as solid as can be. Was Justine married a couple of years ago. Pierre-Yves, not here.
40.
He actually didn't even go to the Australian Open. He was trying to get his pilot's license, which he did, and they had a bit of a celebration after the Australian Open.
They like to sort of jump out of planes together, don't they?
They do a lot of skydiving.
If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it with your spouse, right, Mary Jo?
I don't know about that.
So you think your husband Tony would be pushing you out first of the plane, huh?
Definitely. But I wouldn't be on that plane
No.
to begin with. But I think for Anna Arden, it's a way to overcome a fear. You know, like on the court, her coach is always saying, oh, she doesn't love being at the net. And she admits to being nervous. She holds on again, 3-1. She's one of the few players that will tell you, yes, I got tight, and yes, sometimes I choke.